What happens when a leaked tape threatens to destroy not just one person's reputation, but an entire marriage? Martell's shocking leak has left Love and Marriage Huntsville fans speechless. And the fallout may have finally pushed Marsau and LaTisha to the breaking point. Divorce papers, betrayal, and a scandal no one saw coming. This story changes everything. And trust me, what's inside this tape is far more explosive than anyone expected. The world of love and marriage. Huntsville has never been short of drama. But this latest revelation has shaken the entire fan base to its core. For years, Marsau and LaTisha Scott have positioned themselves as the couple who could withstand anything. Public criticism, rumors, and the ongoing battles with fellow cast members. But now, with Martell Holt's leaked tape surfacing, that image of strength and unity may have just crumbled before our very eyes. What makes this story even more jaw-dropping is the timing. Just when it seemed like Marsau and LaTisha were working to rebuild trust, this scandal drops and the whispers of divorce are louder than ever. Fans are already asking, was Martell behind this intentionally? Was the tape real, or is there more to the story? And most importantly, how will this impact the Scotts' marriage, which has been one of the most debated relationships on the show? In today's deep dive, we're going to break down everything you need to know about this explosive situation. The shocking details of Martell Salged, taped to the cracks in Marsau and LaTisha's marriage, to the way this scandal could reshape the entire dynamic of love and marriage. Huntsville. And believe me, you won't believe the twists and turns this story takes. So grab your seat, because what starts as a simple leak quickly spirals into a storm of betrayal. Accusations and consequences that may end in divorce court. And the most shocking part, this might not even be the whole story. To understand just how explosive Martell's leaked tape is, you have to know the long, complicated history between Martell Hall, Marsau Scott, and LaTisha Scott. These three have been connected since the very beginning of Love and Marriage. Huntsville, not just as castmates, but as friends whose personal and business ties ran deep. Marsau and Martell were considered close, almost like brothers. They worked together, supported one another, and even defended each other when the cameras were rolling. But as viewers know, that friendship has been tested time and time again, especially when it comes to cheating allegations, infidelity rumors, and the way each man handled his marriage. Martell's own scandal set the tone for what was to come. His infidelity with longtime mistress Ariane Curry became one of the biggest storylines in the series. For years, Martell denied, deflected, and argued that he wasn't guilty of cheating. But when the truth came out, his entire image fell apart. His marriage to Melody Holt crumbled. His credibility took a hit, and his role as the so-called family man was shattered. That's where things get complicated for Marsau and LaTisha. From the moment Martell's affair became public, rumors started swirling that Marsau wasn't as squeaky clean as he appeared either. In fact, Martell himself fanned those flames by hinting that Marsau had his own secrets, including alleged infidelities that fans have never stopped debating. LaTisha, meanwhile, has spent much of the show defending her husband against those rumors. She has been adamant that Marsau has never cheated, that their marriage is strong, and that Martell's attempts to paint him as unfaithful are nothing but desperate deflections. Over and over again, she stood by Marsau, even when other cast members, like Melody, questioned whether she was being naive. And that brings us to the current scandal. With Martell's leaked tape now in play, the fragile trust LaTisha has built with her husband is once again under fire. The whispers have grown louder. The blogs have exploded, and fans are speculating that this could finale. The evidence that proves Marsau has been hiding something all along. What makes this even worse is the dynamic between Martell and Marsau themselves. Their friendship has already been strained by years of accusations, shady comments, and public jabs. If Martell is truly behind this tape, then it's not just a betrayal of trust between two men. It's the ultimate blow that could unravel both families at once. And here's where the story gets even darker. Because if this tape really does expose Marco in the way some claim, then LaTisha may be forced to face a truth she's been avoiding for years. Could this be the moment she finally decides enough is enough? But before we answer that, we need to break down exactly what this tape allegedly contains and why it has everyone from fans to cast members in complete shock. When word first spread that Martell Hall had a leaked tape in his possession, many brushed it off as another attempt to stir the pot. After all, Martell has a history of throwing out accusations and half-truths whenever he feels cornered. But this time, the whispers weren't just gossip. They came with claims of receipts. According to multiple sources floating around blogs and fan forums, the leaked tape allegedly features conversations and even compromising footage that directly ties Mauro to behavior outside of his marriage. Now, the details vary depending on who you ask. Some claim the tape is audio only, with Martell recording private conversations where Mauro openly discusses cheating. Others insist there is actual video evidence of Mauro in situations that could bind to Predat as incriminating. The ambiguity is part of what makes this scandal so powerful. No one has seen the full tape publicly, but the hints alone have been enough to fuel speculation. Fans are combing through old episodes of Love and Marriage. Huntsville pulling clips where Marcel looked nervous or where LaTisha defended him passionately and asking, was this the truth hidden in plain sight? What's even more troubling is the timing. The tape allegedly surfaced just as Mars and LaTisha were celebrating milestones in their marriage, publicly showing unity and promoting their businesses together. For a couple that has fought so hard to appear solid, this leak feels like a direct attempt to undermine that image. It raises the question, was Martell sitting on this information the whole time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike? Let's be clear, this isn't just about Mauro. The collateral damage lands squarely on LaTisha, who has built her entire public persona around being a supportive wife and dedicated mother. She has stood by Mauro during every round of rumors, often clashing with Melody and others who suggested she was ignoring the truth. For LaTisha, this P isn't just embarrassing. It threatens to make her look like she's been defending a lie. All along, the leak also drags the entire Love and Marriage Huntsville cast back into chaos. For years, the show has thrived on drama. But even for reality TV, there are lines that cut too deep. A leaked tape is not just gossip. It's personal, invasive, and explosive. It takes speculation and turns it into something that feels dangerously close to evidence. Fans online are already split. Some believe Martell is exaggerating and that this is nothing more than another desperate attempt to drag someone else down with him. Others are convinced the tape is real and that the Scotts' marriage is now on borrowed time. Memes, reaction videos, and heated debates have flooded social media with hashtags calling out both Martell and Mauro. But here's the kicker. Even without the public release of the full tape, the damage has already been done. Once trust is questioned on such a massive scale, it's nearly impossible to fully recover. And for LaTisha, the mere suggestion that Marcel could be guilty may be enough to push her toward divorce. Yet, the biggest mystery remains. What exactly does Martell gain from this? Why release a tape now, years after the initial rumors of Mauro's alleged infidelities? Is this revenge, desperation, or something more calculated? Because here's the part they don't want you to know. This leak may not just be about Marsau and LaTisha's marriage. It could also be Martell's way of rewriting his own narrative, shifting the spotlight off his scandals and putting the target squarely on someone else. Whenever a scandal like this surfaces, the first question isn't just what happened, it's why now. Timing in reality TV and celebrity drama is everything. And with Martell Hall, timing has always been suspiciously strategic. On the surface, it's easy to say Martell released this tape to get back at Mauro. Their friendship, once seemingly unshakable, has been on thin ice for years. Remember when Martell's own infidelity came to light? He often hinted that Morrow wasn't as innocent as he claimed. He dropped suggestive comments through shade in interviews, even pushed the narrative that he wasn't the only one stepping out of his marriage. For Martell, exposing Morrow now may feel like long-awaited payback, a way of saying, if I had to go down, you're coming with me. But when you peel back the layers, the motives become even more complex. Martell's own reputation has been shredded. He lost Melody, his marriage crumbled on national television, and his attempts to rebrand himself as a co-parent and businessman haven't fully restored his image. Viewers often see him as the villain, manipulative, untrustworthy, and impulsive. So, what better way to shift the spotlight than by turning it on someone else? By leaking a tape tied to Martell isn't just stirring up drama, it's redirecting the narrative. Instead of people talking about his past mistakes, suddenly the headlines are filled with questions about Marcel's fidelity and LaTisha's next move. It's classic deflection on Martell's mind. If Marcel's marriage crumbles, then maybe fans will look.